Hi everybody, Matt and Paul here. Today we are talking about retirement in Gibraltar, focusing on, the lifestyle and the peace of mind for those who are considering relocating to Gibraltar. Maybe halfway through this video, we will cover some of the areas that you may want to live in Gibraltar, so that's a bit of a bonus for you. But Paul, if you don't mind, if you can start us off. So what are some of the key points to cover for those considering relocation or retirement in Gibraltar?
Well, the advice has always been the same. We would strongly recommend that they come over and they visit because, we have to be honest and say Gibraltar is like Marmite for UK nationals. Either you love it or you hate it, and there's no middle ground. And, there's been many Brits, 5 to 8,000 have migrated in the past 10 years. So clearly it's very appealing to UK nationals because it's like, um, almost Britain away from home, yeah? British pound and British legal system, same education system, but just with Mediterranean weather, outdoor living, marina lifestyle, you know, and English speaking, so familiar culture. It's very appealing for UK nationals. That's why, we specialize in UK nationals almost exclusively when it comes to Gibraltar residency because we know um, what it is that they seek, and I think we understand how we can advise them. There's a lot of positives. Probably the one downside is that it's very compact, and whilst it's an easy place to live, some people might find that it's too compact. And even though the authorities are doing reclamation or continue to do land reclamation, it doesn't keep up with demand because the demand for residency is so huge right now. But no, the lifestyle and the climate are a huge plus, Matt. You could go to Spain, you could go to Portugal, but you haven't got the same benign tax environment. You haven't got the same um, the familiarity of a British culture, of English being the language, of the British pound reigning supreme. So no exchanges involved. Same legal system, same education system, so on and so forth. So I would say that that is a major draw for UK national. Then I would say probably safety and stability. Very low crime rate. I think it ranks globally as was it the fifth
I
safest
think it was
place?
sixth on the Global Safety Index, number six, yeah,
Number
in the
six. Wow.
world, yeah.
In the world. I mean, that says everything you need to know. And of course, it's also politically and socially stable. We mentioned the British legal system. So again, it gives a lot of peace of mind to UK retirees, professionals, or entrepreneurs that want to make Gibraltar their home, especially if they've got a young family. Yeah, that it's a safe place and great to raise children. Um, I think probably the third point I would raise, Matt, is a sense of community
Yeah.
and a sense of belonging. That we've had a few cases where we've migrated individuals, not with young families, but in relation to the new treaty, they've said actually the greatest thing Gibraltar has is a controlled border. I'm not so comfortable if there's no treaty, because that's feeling that they are in a almost a gated community, for
Yeah.
want of a better word, and they feel that comfort that they are sheltered. You'd be surprised, but that is again quite attractive for UK retirees of a given age, that they want to be an environment where they feel secure. Um, it's a very social community, very welcoming environment. You don't feel isolated, and you can quickly join different um, community groups to get, to build a social network around you. Um, so that's important. Then healthcare and practical living. Well, I would say healthcare has gone through a massive transformation the last probably 4 or 5 years from COVID onwards. I think Gibraltar has struggled with its healthcare system for a long time, but I have to say the last 5 years the healthcare system has improved dramatically. I mean, it is exceptional.
Yeah, absolutely.
No queuing times, operations immediately. They call you back. I would say it's um, it's unbelievable. The healthcare system that Gibraltar can offer anyone considering moving across is second to none. And of course, for specialist treatment, they send you to Spain or to the UK. So even when it is not catered locally, um, notwithstanding that, they will have arrangements with other hospitals that can treat you for your condition. So no, I think the healthcare system is very, very good. And then, of course, if you want to have private health cover, then so be it. But I have to caveat what I'm saying here, that we don't know the new residency criteria. And I think accessing these healthcare and education, there could be some restrictions. Maybe it's paid for initially, and then after long-term residence, you can get them free. So great healthcare, but let's be honest, we don't know what's
Watch
coming
this.
around the corner.
Yeah, watch this space for an update on that. We will have a video on that one for those interested, but that will be interesting to see. Absolutely.
And then I would say fifth in my list at least, and Matt, please, you can disagree, is probably location and the ability and mobility. So it's close to Spain. You can drive across, and with the treaty, there's no border, so it's a frictionless border. I mean, that is a major, and we would have access to Schengen without being formally in Schengen, so we can travel freely across the Schengen area. No passport, nothing of that sort, which is a major, major draw. As I said, close to Spain, close to Portugal. You can drive through Europe, and 2.5 hour flight from London, or Birmingham or Manchester or Bristol, because there's flights to, I think, four major cities right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, many feel that they are boxed in a small territory, but it's not as if you're locked. You can still have the ability to travel extensively. But yeah, very well connected. So you have a compact city, but without the stress of a big city living where the pace is very fast, especially if you're a retiree, where you want to slow down. Well, this gives you that slower pace that you seek.
Yeah. I think
Um,
you've said it before, Paul, and I actually use this sometimes, so I apologize for borrowing it. But it's like in the UK. You have someone in the UK, they live in a town or a city, and no one ever says, "Oh, we're just restricted to here. You want to travel to, I don't know, London, Manchester, Edinburgh, or a bigger place, you can do it. It's on your doorstep." So it's almost best of both worlds. So I think it's nice like that. Yeah. And
I think it's more a psychological problem that
yeah,
they think, and maybe when the border there was a bit more friction, it's almost understandable. But
yeah,
in fairness, in the last 2 or 3 years, there's been no issue whatsoever. And the treaty, the border is effectively dismantled, so to speak. It's not dismantled. There's still some presence as if when you cross that bridge from Spain to Portugal, but there's a presence, but not one that stops the free flow of traffic or people. So it's a totally different experience
yeah.
once the treaty is in place. And then I would say as a sixth point is where you live, and there's such a big selection of properties and at different with different price ranges that you're spoiled for choice. You can be marina living, of course, more expensive properties overlooking marinas, larger properties, smaller, upper town, cheaper but less accessible, different areas. I mean, you're really spoiled for choice. There's a good selection of property uh, to fit your pocket. And yes, you don't have villas and you don't have front gardens necessarily because Gibraltar is a small place. But I think you can buy a really beautiful property overlooking a marina, overlooking the bay, overlooking the straits, and you have you can sit and relax and enjoy the view of the straits and the bay. So no, there's ample choice. And then Matt, I don't know, there's maybe one or two things, residency, what kind of accommodation you require, you know, and yeah, but we've covered that, what is your budget for property? You might want to rent initially and then buy. You have to consider how much time you spend in Gibraltar. Remember, it's 180 days or 300 days over 3 consecutive years. So the bottom line is more than 100 days, but being mindful of not triggering residency in a third country. And then very lightly, I would mention, the very favorable tax regime, the virtually no tax, almost no tax, 2.5% tax on UK pension transfers that are moved to Gibraltar Europe's. Yeah, with good planning, it can support the lifestyle and yeah, and we are the provider of choice for many UK nationals who want to exit correctly and arrive in Gibraltar. Matt, I would add that we are one of the few firms, or maybe the only firm, that has certain UK passports, including some direct authorization by the FCA for certain categories of business. So, our business is all about helping UK nationals. That's all we do. We don't know
Yeah.
anything else. We don't pretend to know anything else. But that's
Yeah.
where we add the most value to people coming across.
No, absolutely. And for those who are wanting to retire here, I mean, these videos we try to keep these as brief as possible, and there's so many great things about living in Gibraltar, and today we've covered the lifestyle, but upcoming we're gonna, so if people hold on and they can watch a video about tax in Gibraltar as well, and then it kind of covers both those sides. But there will be updates about the residency as well, so we urge people to subscribe to our videos, like these, share them with your friends who are also interested.
My final takeaway, I would say to anyone viewing this video, is that Gibraltar offers UK retirees a safe, familiar Mediterranean lifestyle which provides long-term peace of mind. So it's a compelling case for anyone considering moving across.
Well, if that doesn't persuade someone to pick up the phone and give us a call, I'm not sure what will, Paul. But thank you for that. It's really appreciated. Thank you. Bye bye.